Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 5 of my 1 vs 2 vs 2 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 2 separate teams of 2 Emperor AI per team, and I'm playing as the Tigran Necromancer, Ramhotep Devilclaw. In our last episode, we really tried to press our advantage. We had Gamblag, Master of Origins, kind of on the back foot, and that's because we were able to actually take control of Urs-4 from him, and we actually battled him directly and sent him to the Void. So in that last episode, we were really trying to kind of press our advantage. And as you can see here, we now have Gamblag's throne city in sight, the city of Kabalg here. And Gamblag himself has now actually come back from the Void. And as you can see, he's leading a pretty powerful army. He's got a couple of evangelists here, Crusader, Impaler, a Cherub, and then he's got a pretty scary Orc Annihilator, which is a tier 3 pikeman, and then a cavalry unit here and another one there. So pretty well defended throne city, all things considered. And then, of course, we also have Yizzo the Rat's throne city. If we zoom out, you can see we've got them next to each other. So, of course, this is Gamblag's teammate. So I've kind of got them both penned in here, and I'm going to try to press that advantage as best as I can. But before I dive into the episode proper, I did just want to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments is from Lance Fair. Lance pointed out that I have a fairly large number of random units in my different cities. So just to kind of highlight that, you can see here in the city of Necras, we have a Nightmare, a Big Beetle, a Skeleton Archer, and a Lost Soul. And then we also have 2 Cadavers coming over to join the party. If we move over to Urs-4, we just have a single Goblin Looter guarding the city. And then if we jump up above ground, we've got a stack here with Panthro One-Eye, who is our Warlord hero, Lost Soul, Skeleton, and a Tigran Cheetah. And then in our Throne City, we've got a Skeleton Archer, Lost Soul, Tigran Cheetah, and a Cadaver. So again, kind of a mix and match. And what Lance is kind of pointing out is that I could probably cobble together a half-decent stack for my Warlord hero so that I'm able to actually get Panthra out fighting and doing some clearing rather than just kind of sitting there idle in my city. And I think that's a great point. So I'm going to see if I can kind of create a bit of a ragtag army for Panthra. Another comment here from Lance is that I do have access to a Well of Souls, and I'm going to have to clear it out, but you can see it right here. And so what this means is that if I need to turn any of my currently alive units into ghouls, I could do that using the Well of Souls, and it will also heal them. But I just need to keep in mind that there is a cooldown when I use the Well of Souls. I think it's like 5 turns, if I'm not mistaken, that it takes to recharge before you can drink from it again. So if I clear this out, that's a good resource to have, because currently I don't really have a good way to turn units into ghouls if I need to. Lance also pointed out that, as I mentioned in the intro, Yizzo and Gamblag are kind of cornered. And if we go back underground, you can sort of see this. So they're really kind of penned in here. And besides this cave exit here, it doesn't really look like they have many other ways out of this corner. Unless there's something hidden in the mist that I can't see. Most of their units may actually be kind of stuck down here, and they may not really have much in the way of reinforcements. So you can see with Necras and Urs-4, I've kind of got a bit of a lock on where they are here. So we'll have to see if again, if they bring any reinforcements to bear. But a good point there from Lance. I do recall some units being up above ground, if I'm not mistaken. So it's entirely possible that they have some cities above ground as well. The next comment's here from Death. Death pointed out that Gamblag will actually have a lot of spirit damage at his disposal, being that he's a Theocrat, and that's a great point here. So just as an example, you can see these Evangelists do a lot of spirit damage in melee, so that's obviously something I need to be concerned about as a Necromancer. The good news is I do have the upgrade, and it's one of the first things I get when I'm playing Necromancer, Protection from Light, which provides 20% spirit and fire protection, and so that translates into... let's just take a look at one of my Tigran units here. You can see here that thanks to being both Tigran and having protection from light, we're up to 60% spirit protection, which completely nullifies the spirit weakness due to being both undead and a ghoul. So thankfully, we won't have to worry so much about that. But the point that Death is making here is that something I should consider is that my Warlord hero at level 7 will get access to Blood Brothers, which will basically make it such that any unit in my stack will be have mind control immunity, but more importantly will have 100% spirit protection, which will, again, be mitigated somewhat by the innate spirit weakness that my units have, but that would be really beneficial and provide me a ton of protection from that damage. So, good point there, and something I'm going to work towards for sure. The next comment's here from Albtrom. Albtrom pointed out that when I'm moving through the dirt wall that I can dig through, it would actually be wise to move the Big Beetle ahead to do the digging initially, because you can see here that this costs me 6 movement, whereas moving in the rest of the underground costs me 4. And so what I can do is I can send the Big Beetle ahead and make it use up some of its movement on the 6 tiles, and then my units that have less movement, like I believe the Shredder and the Muse both only have 28, whereas the Big Beetle has 36. And so what I can do is send the Big Beetle ahead, and that will actually save some of the movement for my other units. So great idea there, and a great point to remember when you're tunneling underground. Albtrom also pointed out that the Age of Wonders 3 wiki has a great explanation of the XP, sort of air quotes here, but counter system, where there's actually a counter for how much XP you can gain for doing certain movements like attacking and counterattacking a certain unit and things of that nature. And this was in response to in the previous episode, I had lamented that I had attacked with one of my heroes and not gained any experience. Something that Albtron pointed out, though, is that kills will always grant experience, so that's a good thing to remember. But check out the wiki for some additional breakdown of that if you're interested. Thanks to Albtron for that one. Albtron also suggested I should probably get all 3 heroes leading independent armies and have them all kind of working together, and I think that's a great point. I'm definitely going to need the support of multiple stacks of units here. And then finally, a comment from Gladden. Gladden was just mentioning that scimitar from last episode was indeed an equipable melee weapon that provides access to an ability that lets you throw a sword, which you can then capitalize on all of your buffs and all of your extra damage types from other items. So, again, we sold that off, but thank you to Gladden for just clarifying that. All right, let's get into the episode. We're right at the end of the turn, so let's end it here and see what comes next. Oh, I heard some summoning. Oh, and look at that. It looks like Yizzo. Oh, boy. Okay, well, this is not good. Yizzo is sending a bunch of units up north here to threaten my cities. Yikes. Okay, well... Oh boy, this is going to be challenging. So we're going to have to muster the defenses here at the city of Toongale, which I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do. Yeah, and he's going to be able to make it there in a single turn. That's not good. Can we make any reinforcements able to get there? Unfortunately, no. Yikes. All right, well, what we can do, though, is summon a Lost Soul at the very least to aid us, so let's do that. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But that's the best we can do, and I mean, we'll just have to try to hold out against Yizzo, and in the meantime, let's jump back underground. We're trying to circle on Gamblag and put him down as quickly as we can. You can see Gamblag is recruiting more units, so we really got to try to strike while the iron's hot here. Another option, I suppose, would be to come up above ground. Actually, now this isn't the worst idea. Come up above ground and attack Yizzo while we can here. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. A bit of a risky play given that we've just got the single stack, but again, our units are so powerful. And you know what we could do? Now, here's an idea. Can we make it all the way... not quite. What if we just bring our units that have more movement? Let's leave the skeleton behind. No, the cheetah's not going to be able to make it. Shoot, so the only unit who can actually make it to the fight would be our warlord. Not that that would necessarily be that helpful for me. Although, I believe our warlord does have some decent spells for battle. Yeah, like Last Stand and Lion's Courage. So you know what we could do here. Alright. We are going to take our main stack, who I was moving over to clear out this tomb anyway, because I need to recruit some additional undead now that I'm at level 7 with both my leader and my hero. We can get Greater Reanimate Undead to bring us some new undead friends. But in the meantime, and because this is a pressing situation, I'm going to send my stack over. Now I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't summoned that Lost Soul where I did. Would have been better to summon it down here to help. But what I can at least do is bring Panthera down to assist me. What if I go here? That's not really going to change anything. Oh, shoot. And that cheetah can't quite make it. All right, well, we'll bring Panthera down at least to assist me. So there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll engage this battle. And again, we're in a tough fight here, but we're fighting mostly tier 1 units besides the Dreadnought and Rogue here. So we've got Yizzo himself and then the Dreadnought. And of course, if we could send Yizzo to the Void, we could try and round on Yizzo's Throne City and take him out of the game entirely while he's in the Void. So, all right, let's try this battle. We're going to have to play it careful, but I think with our heroes leveled up and our units very strong, I think we'll be fine. Ooh, ouch, we took some punishment there. Yeah, we got to get our hero, our warlord's getting beat to pulp over there. We definitely want our hero getting out of there, that's for sure. Yikes, you know what? We may even need to run away with Panthera, just given that we've absorbed that much damage. Our Werepanther can at least heal us a little bit, but yeah, I don't want to lose Panthera. So you know what? I'm gonna just retreat back. At the very least, we did soak up some of the movement over there. So now we can kind of whittle down the forces right here instead to kind of buy us a bit of time. So let's see what we're fighting. We got a Goblin Bomber who has the Big Bada Boom, which will basically do a ton of damage when they die. So we want to make sure we kill them before they get in close to us. The Looter I'm not concerned about. The Crow's not such a big deal. The Swarm Darter, and again, being undead, I'm less concerned about those units. Alright, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to advance my Muse. Okay, and we can attack the Bomber for some half-decent damage. We could also step up and do even more. You have to be a little bit careful. I don't want my Muse getting killed, but I think we'll be fine. Also, we can revive. Don't forget, we have the ability to revive our units. So, we'll get it inspired for the extra damage. Nice, and we threw the spear, and we got the kill. That's perfect. That's exactly what we needed. And then our Royal Chariot could charge in and decimate these Swarm Darters. In the meantime here, we can probably get rid of these Looters. So let's do this. There we go. Big damage. Perfect. Jafsar here can light up the Looter for some damage. I think maybe we'll retreat back one, though, just to... Yeah, let's do that. Very nice. There's the kill. And then we've got the Grimbeak Crows here who need killing. Our Big Beetle should be able to do that. Ramhotep can also maybe assist with a little bit of damage. Alternatively, we could recruit the Looter to our team as a Cadaver. That might be kind of useful. But let's see. If I step up, how much damage can I do to these crows? Actually, a fairly decent amount here. Oh, yeah. Let's blast. Perfect. There we go. And then the Big Beetle can just charge in and get the kill, hopefully. Perfect. All right, that's great. So now it's just a Chariot, and I think we'll go for the Swarm Darter. Oh, and look at that. One shot, and we killed them there. We got the high roll on the damage, which is perfect. Ouch, we took a spell there. That's no good. Soaking up some damage, nothing we can't handle. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, we want to make sure our Big Beetle doesn't get killed, just because the unit does have tunneling, and we are kind of exploiting that underground. So, let's see what we can do with our Shredder here. There we go. We can do some damage to the crows at least. I'm going to soften them up a little bit. Our Muse can perhaps kill the Grimbeak Crows. Perfect. Free up our Chariot to step on over here and camp out in defense mode. I think we're going to retreat the Big Beetle back just because I can't revive the Big Beetle as it's a unit that is not a ghoul, or excuse me, not undead. So now I have to be careful with my heroes, especially with Jafsar, given that we took actually took a fairly decent amount of damage there. So what I might do with Jafsar is just hang out back here and recruit myself a brand new friend. form of a looter turned cadaver. And then for Ramhotep, you know what would be great would be to get a blast in there, but yeah, I just don't think that's maybe feasible. I don't want to get in there and risk Ramhotep taking any real damage, so I'm going to hang back and make another cadaver, I think. You know what, let's go like this. Yeah, there we go. 2 more cadavers for the pile. Let's see what happens. Ooh, ouch. Going after my shredders, okay. Again, if they do go down, that's fine. I can revive them. All right, no problem. Now we've got a chance to counterattack, which is great. Oh, yeah, we can get a nice charging, flanking shot here. That would be pretty huge. Let's do it. I think our big beetle should be fine. Perfect. There it is. I guess the big beetles actually don't have charge. So I was thinking, oh, we can get charge, but the flank itself just did a tremendous amount of damage, so that's fine. Okay, now we've got... Oh, look at this. We've got the Dreadnought hero who needs to get kind of a bit of a beatdown here, so let's see what we can manage. Step up. Oh, yeah, look at this flanking damage. Massive. And then Cadaver could potentially get the kill, or Jafsar might be able to. Again, I don't want to put Jafsar in any unnecessary risk. If we get good rolls here, how much would we do? We'd get minimum 4, 4, 4. Yeah, okay, so we should get the kill here. Let's try it. Perfect. There we go. All right, now let's charge right over with our cadavers and get them kind of into the fight. There we go. Chance to do some flanking. There we are. And I believe this is a... Oh, this has a cooldown. Okay, so I was going to say, I thought this was a once per battle, but it's actually on cooldown, so that's good to remember. Ramhotep can step up and blast the Swarm Darters for some damage. And the kill, fantastic. There's some more experience. So everybody else kind of done their thing. The Shredder has a single hit point left. Now let's try for the Ensnare. Okay, that failed. So since that... Oh, and I forgot the... Yeah, Yizzo's back there. Shoot. I was acting like, oh, the battle's over, but I completely forgot about Yizzo. Alright, let's kill off the Witch Doctor. And then we'll finish Yizzo. Okay, so he killed my Cadaver. That's fine. This actually gives me a chance to heal up my Shredder, which is nice. So let's move the Shredder back and drop some nice juicy heals there. Much needed. Now this Cadaver was the one that had a little bit more... Oh no, this is the one that had more experience. I could supposedly, I guess, revive the Cadaver if I really wanted, but I think that's fine. I'm just going to go back and heal up my Shredder. There we go. The Muse, however, can step up, do a little bit of blasting there. Very nice. Oh, and then we can throw our Spear as well. There's a little bit. And we can step around for the flank here. Yeah, big flank damage. And then we can step up. We should be able to get the finish one way or the other. The Cadaver has already got quite a bit of experience. Yeah, let's see if we can get the kill with the Cadaver here. Not quite. That's fine, though. We can get the kill with our Shredder. Perfect. So there goes Yizzo off to the Void. Perfect. And again, we didn't lose any of our main army. And although Panthera had to retreat, at least Panthera, we didn't lose Panthera. So let's see what we get for some items here. Just the musket, which I think we might actually give to Jafsar. Yeah, because we already have the fireworks shot with Ramhotep, so... And that was a nice boost of knowledge that actually let us finish off Vampiric Hunger, which is fantastic. We also got a nice level up here with Ramhotep. Now, I'm going to save this one for level 9 when we get access to Inflict Ghoul Curse. So I'm going to save the points, make sure I have enough for Ghoul Curse. Because I believe that costs 10, but I could be mistaken on that one. But I absolutely want to make sure I have enough for that one. Okay. Let's see. So now I'm thinking we probably want to head back underground and try to press the advantage and see if we can hopefully, like I said, capitalize on Yizzo's current predicament. So let's head underground. Now, of course, we lost our movement with Panthra. So Panthra is going to be a little bit vulnerable right now. What we might do here is maybe send our cheetah down to try to at least provide an extra unit there to help him out. All right, into the cave entrance, and then let's head over. We might as well clear this out since we're in the neighborhood anyway. And then once we've done that, we can kind of loop around down here, maybe grab the haste berries and go for the throne of Yizzo. We'll leave Gamblag alone for now just because Yizzo is the one who's kind of on the back foot currently. So I think that makes a little bit more sense. Now, as for what we've got going on over here, we've now got ourselves enough of an army to actually start clearing things out around here, which I think would be wise, given that we can start, exploiting more of these resources and hopefully get some additional rewards when we clear these things out. So let's see here. And again, I think once we can get Panthra down here, because that's the plan, we can get Panthra down here to join, and then that would be really good for us. All right. Just looking around. Okay. So yeah, let's jump underground, and we'll decide how we want to do this. So I'm thinking production resources would probably be the first thing to clear out. That's usually a pretty solid upgrade. So we'll head over with our cadavers here. Everybody's going to join the party. And then our skeleton archer can also jump on over. And then we will engage the battle with our nightmare. We want to try to minimize losses in this fight if we can. Again, we've got kind of a hodgepodge group. We don't want them taking unnecessary punishment. And of course, our undead can go back to the city to heal. So the Frostling Huntress is the unit I'm not as familiar with. So this is a pikeman unit that has polearm, pike square, first strike, frost weapons. That's actually not so bad for me as the undead, because you can see we have frost protection. Even with the innate Tigran frost weakness, we still have a net frost protection. So frost weapons is actually a little bit less effective against the undead, thankfully. Now, these cadavers are probably the most expendable of my troops, I would say. Yeah, all right, let's blast these ice scrapers for some damage. There we go. The Lost Soul, thankfully, can come back after being killed, which is kind of nice. And then, as I said, the cadavers are somewhat expendable, so I'll throw them up front. And we'll put our Sun Guard there in defense, and we're going to let them come to us. Cadavers went down, that's fine. Oh, shoot, and they froze my Skeleton Archer, which means my Skeleton Archer is pretty much doomed. But let's see what we can get up to over here. So we're going to jump around behind, do some flanking, and then we can charge in for some hefty damage here. Very nice. And then get the kill with the cadaver. Perfect. Our Nightmare can charge around in behind here. Oh, and a massive flanking charge attack with some fire damage. Very good. And then big damage, and there's the kill. Very good. And a nice level up for our Sun Guard. This Sun Guard is very powerful because we have the Tigran, I believe it's the Tier 1 racial upgrade that makes them a little bit better. And then we also have it embalmed, so double whammy of goodness. But unfortunately, our Skeleton Archer is going to die here. Yep, there it goes. So we did end up losing 2 units, which is a shame. But our Cadaver can devour a corpse to get some health back, which is good. And then, you know what? Let's send our Lost Soul over, given that our Lost Soul is a little bit more capable of tanking some of this damage. Okay, our Sun Guard tanked it quite well, actually. All right, let's move here, do the flank shot, and then get the kill with our Sun Guard. Perfect, and a nice lifesteal there for them as well, thanks to having Vampiric Hunger. Excellent. Wood wall or a temple? I'm definitely going to go for the temple, given that mana is... we're using quite a bit of mana, and more mana income would be good. This also gives me the option to produce support units, which, if I can get Healers of the Dead, would mean that I have healers for my undead army. So let's grab the temple. Very nice. I'm quite happy with that. All right, so now we got ourselves a stack of 5, and this Sun Guard is quite powerful, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. This might be a bit tough, given that we've got some kind of tanky Dwarven units we're going to be fighting. Tier 2 Battle Rager. This is a little bit out of our reach right now. We've got 2 Tier 3 units, or excuse me, a Tier 3 Ignoculus. Yeah, Ignoculus. I've never seen this before. This is a modified Watcher, it looks like. Has Searing Gaze, deals fire in a straight line over 3 hexes. Yikes. 4th space is unaffected. Kind of like Sundisk, I guess. But does some blight damage, which thankfully being undead is good against. Total awareness, mind control immunity, a monster, floating, magical origin. Yeah, pretty cool unit there. And we've got a Watchling here who can evolve into either a Watcher, an Ignoculus, a Maloculus, or a Sarcoculus. So we've got different versions of the Watcher, it sounds like. That's really cool. I'm interested to see what the other 2 that I haven't encountered yet look like. Now this has Petrifying Touch, Melee Strike, Spirit Blast. Very, very cool. I'd like to get my hands on one of these guys and have them evolve. That would be cool. And then, of course, 2 little Shock Serpents. So, without the hero, I think maybe the next step is going to be... Ooh, and this is guarded by 2 Tier 2s. Over here we've got Tier 2, Tier 3. Frostling Royal Retainer. Yikes. That's going to be tough. So, actually, the inn might be the best option. The only problem with the inn is that clearing it out doesn't really get me anything. Although I believe I can convert it over to... yeah, I can corrupt the inn to make it more beneficial for me eventually. But you don't really get rewards, if I remember correctly, for actually clearing out the inn. So I may have to slow my roll a little bit. What I could do, I suppose, now that I'm able, is make a Ghoul Tigran Mystic. That wouldn't be so bad. It gives me some extra ranged and magic damage capability there, which I currently don't really have in the stack. It would give us fire and spirit damage. That's not the worst idea ever. And of course, it would get a boost thanks to being embalmed. So, yeah, you know, I'm not minding that option at all. And then, of course, we want to clear the Lost Library once we're able to. You know what? I'm feeling like clearing out the mana node, given that there's only 3 units, even though 2 of them are tier 2. This would also give us more mana income, which would be great. The only thing is that maybe I should wait until I've got reinforcements down here to help me clear it out. Well, you know what? All right, let's start doing a Tigran Mystic. And then we can wait a turn or two to try and really finalize what we're doing. In the meantime, this little guy, he's going to wither away to nothing, but I'm going to send him back. All right, that's pretty good. So now let's look at research here. There it is. This is the one I want. Healers of the Dead is extremely powerful, and if I have access to support units, then basically, so just to summarize, your support units gain Heal Undead, and your reanimators gain Lesser Reanimate Undead. So any support unit I have will be able to heal my undead stacks. So for example, those Tigran Mystics that I'm making will be able to heal my armies, which is absolutely massive. So I'm going to do this. This is one of my main kind of, really one of my favorite upgrades as a Necromancer, to be perfectly honest. All right, Toongale now. So Toongale, we do have the Embalmer's Guild. Our production capabilities are still quite limited, though, so let's maybe work on just developing the city a little bit further. This wouldn't be a bad time for maybe a siege workshop or a barracks, perhaps. Temple to get Mystics wouldn't be bad as well, but that's kind of expensive. And again, gold is kind of running a little bit low. Let me just check. So in our Throne City, we're still working on the Masters Guild. That's almost done. That's going to give us more production income, which is fantastic. And let's see, what else could we do? Again, I don't want to spend too much gold, to be honest, here. Just because if I do, although, granted, I might be clearing out some structures and maybe getting some gold that way. I just don't want to limit what I can do in the next turn here. Maybe we'll hold off for a turn and just do merchandise. Just save a little bit of that money. Oh, and look at this. We've got Argar Battlemaster who's encroaching on our poor little cadaver. Well, I guess we can try and run away. Do some more scouting up this way. And yeah, this group is going to just stay there guarding the city for now. We will start summoning ourselves another Lost Soul just because we can. And then that's going to do it for our turn. Yeah, and everybody else we've already moved. Alright, now let's jump back down and see what we can see underground here. I assume Gamblag is going to destroy... Yep, there it goes. Now we can't see into his throne city anymore. And... yeah, let's see if anything else crazy happens. Definitely want to keep an army around the city here to guard it, given that Gamblag is reasonably powerful. Ooh, and our poor little cadaver getting attacked by some units. Well, that's all she wrote for the cadaver. He was going to wither away to nothing anyway because of his decaying. So we'll just let him die off. I did get a little bit of knowledge out of the battle, so that's kind of funny. I suppose his death wasn't entirely in vain. And look at this. We've got a hero offering to join us. Ooh, an Archdruid. Now, I really like getting Druid heroes as a Necromancer because they get access to Nourishing Meal, which is one of the only other healing abilities that will heal undead units. So besides heal undead, I believe there might be a few exceptions, like, for example, if you have Men Magical Being that can apply to something like a Lost Soul, but otherwise, Nourishing Meal is really your only other go-to for healing the undead. So let's just take a look. Show me your talents. Oh, and look at this. Wow, throw Sun Spear and Sun Disc. That's incredible. Yeah, we'll definitely take this hero. For sure. Welcome aboard. And you know what? Having this hero up at my throne city isn't so bad, given that I've got some units here and I want to clear out around my throne so that I'm actually able to stop hoarding units here to guard it. Make sure my throne is actually, you know, well protected. So, oh, here we go. All right. We've got enough for two things. Let's do Nourishing Meal. And Befriend Animal wouldn't be bad. But getting some extra resistance wouldn't be bad either. Spirit of the Land is a good one when you're undead because obviously you've got that spirit weakness. Granted, being Tigran kind of helps with that. The Warm at Night isn't bad because that gives us even more frost protection. Yeah, actually, a Druid is a really good hero for... I am going to take Befriend Animal just because I do want to try to get some extra units, and then we'll take Nature's Resistance. Yeah, there we go. Very happy with that. I got quite lucky to get a Druid hero. I mean, I obviously would have been happy with a Necromancer as well, but I really do like the Druids when I'm playing as a Necromancer. So now, Urs 4, I've got production choices. Again, gold is pretty limited, so I'm going to hold off. Let's do some fighting and battling first. So, now here's the big event we were going for. Let's head over to the tomb and see what we can recruit. Oh, look at this. Okay, I was expecting more undead units here. We've got a Dwarf Oathbreaker. Kind of surprised. Oh, okay, this is an undead unit. Oh, that's perfect. All right. So let's see. Cursed Flame Aura. Interesting. Okay, well, I was thinking this wasn't an undead unit. So, Cursed Flame Aura. Deals 2 fire and 2 blight damage to melee attacks and have a chance to curse enemy units, I'm assuming, when you hit them. Cursed units have -2 defense, -2 resistance, and -3 morale. That's pretty cool. Armored, Undead, Infantry. They have Dwarf Slayer. They have Overwhelm and Demolisher. Mind control immunity. Alright, well, I'll see if I can get a tier 3 unit here. Would be great to get my hands on. So let's see if I can kill this guy and then bring him back. We've also got a Ghast, which is a unit I'm not familiar with. Ooh, creepy model here for this one. Has Devour Corpse. Inflict Enabling Fever. It's an irregular unit. Interesting. So I believe it would benefit from my Vampiric Hunger upgrade. Because I think that affects Infantry, Irregular, and Pikemen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, alright. I can try and get a Ghast if I'm so inclined. There's also a Ghost, which is an incorporeal undead unit. Kind of like a Lost Soul, I guess. Has physical protection. That's kind of neat. Alright, yeah, lots of good choices here. So let's do this battle. Now, again, the main priority is this Oathbreaker, so I need to make sure I kill the Oathbreaker while the other units are still alive. Because if I kill it last, like let's say I kill everything else, then kill the Oathbreaker, it would end the battle, and I wouldn't have a chance to use my Greater Reanimate Undead ability. So I need to make sure I kill the Oathbreaker before I kill everything else. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to kill it first, but... Alright, Big Beetle's going to the back. I want to make sure the Big Beetle is not in major danger, because it's alive and I can't heal it as easily. And then I think we're just going to retreat our heroes back. We're going to let them... They're playing it pretty aggressive, so let's let them come out to us here. The Oathbreaker in particular. Yeah, there we go. Alright, nice. Our Chariot's tanking damage really well. Alright, nice. Now we can just let the Oathbreaker have it here. So let's step up. Ooh. Trying to decide here. Maybe I should kill one of these. Kill the Hellhound, perhaps. The only thing is, when I kill the Hellhound, it's going to come back as a Ghoul Hellhound, because it's technically a living unit. And we have the Chant of Unlife in effect, so... Perhaps I should... maybe kill the Ghast, or attack the Ghast instead. So let's do that. And what we'll do is we'll step over like this. Nice. Okay, we can blast the Oathbreaker for some big damage. Well, not massive damage per se, but pretty good amount. Nice. There's some extra damage. Let's see if we move. Oh, I'm hesitant to advance too close with Jafsar, just given the... Yeah, and the Oathbreaker's got pretty good protection against a lot of our abilities here, so I do have to be kind of cautious. I suppose something I could do, though, I didn't think of this. I could kill the Hellhound and then summon a Cadaver, so maybe we'll do that instead. Yeah, let's do that. There we go, and then Cadaver time. And then the Cadaver can just hang out in defense, and the Big Beetle can step up here like that. And that should do it for our turn. Now, let's see what happens. Nice. Okay, I was hoping the Oathbreaker was going to do that. Oh, and there they go. Devoured that corpse. Alright, so now we should be able to kill off the Oathbreaker without too much difficulty here. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll... Perfect. Okay, that's great. And now, here we go. We can do our Greater Reanimate Undead. Just like that, we got ourselves a Tier 3 unit, a Dwarf Oathbreaker Undead unit. So now, we want to kill probably the Ghast and do the exact same thing. We should actually be able to do that without too much trouble right here. There we go. And then, just like that, we got ourselves a Ghast as well. Fantastic. All that's left now is this Revenant Infantry. Ghast can hang out in defense. Alright, now let's kill the Ghost. I'm just trying to decide how best to do this. So really all that's left is the Shredder. So... Can we throw a net? No, we can't. We could potentially ensnare the Revenant Infantry in the net. I think it would be better, though, to attack the Ghost, just so that our Oathbreaker is in less danger, and then we can get the kill there. Perfect. Yeah, and I don't want my Big Beetle getting into a fight with the Revenant Infantry. I think I'm just going to move around to protect my Oathbreaker a little bit. There we go. Okay, no worries there. The Muse tanked a lot of damage. What I'm going to do, though, because, I mean, more units is usually a good thing. I'm going to try and use Control Undead here to recruit another unit. And I'm not going to use my heal with Ramhotep, because then I'll have a second chance to use it if the other one fails. So, as much as I would like to get a heal, there we go. All right. Again, had that first one not worked, I would have had a second try. So just like that, I recruited 3 additional undead units. What this effectively... Ooh, and look at this. Blade of the Red Dawn. So this is a pretty good melee weapon, not to mention some gold and some mana. And I actually could use some extra mana. Selling this for gold wouldn't be the worst idea, just because that would give me a huge chunk of gold. I mean, I've already got half-decent... You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I've already got half-decent melee weapons with, I think, both my heroes. And even if I don't, I'm not really using them in melee anyway, so... I think I'm going to sell this for the gold, honestly. Yeah, there we go. Of course, once I get Inflict Ghoul Curse, I will use them in melee a little bit more. But, again, the primary purpose of that is not to do damage. It's more just to inflict Ghoul Curse, right? So, we're at level 8 with Jafsar. Same thing, I'm going to save the points for when I get Inflict Ghoul Curse. But now, I'm going to split Jafsar off to have him lead my new army of undead. Meanwhile, Ramhotep will continue to lead this stack. And I think now we're going to turn our attentions to the south here and see if we can maybe encroach on Yizzo a little bit. Just looking around to see. Yeah, we're not really going to have a ton of reinforcements here for our main armies. Although, we can send these units underground, thankfully, so let's do that. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan there, so we'll head underground. And then the cheetah, I think, can maybe go to join in with one of these armies here. Meanwhile, the other two, perhaps, maybe head over this way to join in. Alternatively, I suppose the Cadaver, being already kind of leveled up, could maybe head over to join in. Yeah, that might be the better idea. Only thing is, I don't want the Cadaver to soak up all the healing there. So, you know what? We will send the cheetah now that I think about it. There we go. And then Panthera can head over to join over here. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I guess that's faster to go that way. Wow. All right. Well, I wouldn't have guessed that, but that's fine. Some quirky pathfinding there, but I guess it makes sense. That is faster. You see over there, it kind of bypasses all of this junk. All right. That's fine. So these two stacks are already done their thing, so that's fine. Urs 4 here. Getting an Embalmer's Guild would be great, just to increase the growth and then have it also able to heal my undead when the time comes. So I just hate that it takes 3 turns. We'll do the Builder's Hall first and then the Embalmer's Guild. Back up to Toongale here. Again, we got to be careful with spending gold. So let's maybe look at our Throne City. So again, we have our Druid hero, so we want to make sure we capitalize on having this Druid hero. Now we've got really good production income in the throne, so it gives us way more options. Thankfully, again, we have the ability to heal thanks to our Druid, so I'm not as concerned about that. But it would be nice to be able to produce some units here. Burial Ground would give us access to Skeleton Horsemen and Skeleton Spearmen. It doesn't look like we need anything special for that, so you know what? That's not a bad idea. Again, we know how good the Tigran Sun Guard is, but I think we'll do the Burial Ground just to get access to those other skeleton units here. So let's do that, and then we can add to our stack here. And with this one, again, I'm really hesitant, though, to head out, given that we don't have good protection at the throne. I suppose I could, you know, venture out with a couple of units here, maybe, like this. I mean, I'd prefer to leave 3 units behind, so I need an extra unit there, which is kind of unfortunate. You know what I'll do? I'm going to send one of my Lost Souls over to join up north there. I can afford to leave Toongale a little less defended, because I need another unit to join in before I'm comfortable sending anybody off there. You know what, actually, now that I think about it, maybe it's not as smart to do the burial grounds. Maybe I should just do an extra unit, even if it's just kind of a junk unit, like the cheetah, for example. This is kind of tricky. No, all right, let's be patient. We'll do the burial grounds. It'll give us access to hopefully better units. Although, really, like, let me think about this. So I'm assuming the Skeleton Horseman is probably a tier 2 cavalry. The Skeleton Spearman, I'm guessing, is a tier 1 unit there. Let's see if we can look them up. I'm not sure if they'd be in here. Skeleton Horseman. So this is a... looks like a fairly standard, yeah, cavalry unit. Does have projectile resistance, which is kind of cool. So that makes sense. Now let's see Skeleton Spearman. Base upkeep is 4, which I believe means it's a tier 1. So yeah, fairly standard, like, tier 1 pikeman unit. Nothing too special. They are armored. But, alright, so, yeah, that might not be the best. Again, the barracks would give us the Tigran Sun Guard, and we know how good they are, especially with all the upgrades. So, that is tempting. Again, the other option is we just crank out another cheetah or 2 just to give us some kind of cannon fodder for doing some battling with. I guess the question is, how patient am I? And the answer right now is not very. So, let's do the cheetah. And in Toongale, yeah, Toongale's not really able to do much either right now. A temple wouldn't be bad, so we can get mystics at least. Let's do that. Running kind of low on mana, so we do have to be a little bit careful. And again, we'll have the mystic next turn, so I'm going to wait one more before I do anything with this group. And then these guys can just hold the fort. Alright, that's going to end the turn, so we'll end it there. I'm really glad we were able to do that to Yizzo, though, to send him to the Void. I'm just worried that Gamblag's going to get some momentum now. Again, though, in terms of momentum, this was a huge swing, as you can see here. Having this Oathbreaker is massive. And again, for our main stack here, very powerful. We do need some healing, though. That's the only thing. So the sooner we can get this Healers of the Dead, the better. That's going to give our our Tigran Muse here heal undead, which would be very, very nice to have. That would help us out tremendously. Okay, so the turn flipped over. Doesn't really look like anything. I'm not seeing anything special on the map, which is good. Alright, so Panthra heading over to join friends. Yeah. There we go. That's fantastic. The Muse can join... oh, and look at this. Some roaming units there threatening the city. Well, that's good that I saw that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Muse here, and then turn around, we can kill those units. So, we'll engage this battle. Try to be careful. Again, Mass Curse is in effect, but doesn't really matter since we're undead. It'll affect my Big Beetle, but that's about it. I don't think the Nightmare... oh, never mind. The Nightmare is technically alive. I forgot about that. So yeah, the Nightmare is cursed as well. But the rest of our units are unaffected. So, Orc Rusher. Let's take a look. Haunted. This unit doesn't obey orders. Instead, it attempts to attack the nearest enemy unit with its melee attack. I guess they're just, like, permanently taunted. That's kind of interesting. It has Charge, Guard Breaker, Overwhelm, Mind Control Immunity. Considered a volunteer, I guess. Kind of interesting. All right. The Mystic... again, orcs tend to have that... they have that lower intrinsic resistance, which is good. So we can take advantage of that and do some extra damage. And then we'll park our Lost Soul in front just to soak up some hits. Along with the Cadaver. Everybody else can just kind of stay put. Yep, there we go. Lost Soul doing its thing. He's there, and we can get another hit with the Lost Soul for some more health back. Perfect. There we go. Almost back to full health and a level up, too. The Cadaver, on the other hand, could perhaps go and kind of lock down the Berserker a little bit. So let's do that. All right, now we got to deal with this Orc Berserker, who's going to be a bit of a handful, I think. So, let's see. The Mystic can step up. Do some reasonable damage. Sun Guard's going to park in defense. Nightmare's going to park in defense. Big Beetle's going to sit back. And then I think we're just going to let them come at us. We're going to take some heavy punishment here. Nice. Cadavers did their thing. Ooh, yikes. And our Nightmare took some punishment. But thankfully now we should be able to get the flanking hits here to be able to... Actually, we might even be able to just get the... We won't get the kill, but we'll be very close here. We will get the kill. Fantastic. All right, now we can just gang up on the Berserker here. There's some damage. There's some additional damage. Ooh, and the Nightmare can't quite make it over. That's all right, though. The Big Beetle can get over there. That might not be so bad. Let's do it. Even though we're taking a fair amount of damage. Yikes, Big Beetle took some punishment, but again, we can survive that. Some nice level ups here. We did lose our Cadaver, of course. A little bit of mana there, not so bad. And importantly, just getting more mana income, which is helping us out. Panthera can get closer, but it's probably better to stick with that, at least Cadaver there. All right, so now we can group up, and I forgot we had this other battle, so we're going to have to now head over and take on these 2 white tigers and a lurid crab. So now let's do that. All right. And hopefully we can get through this without losing anybody. Especially the tier 2s that we have, our Nightmare and our Big Beetle. We don't want to lose them. So, why don't we step up, do a little bit of damage. Very nice. We can park our Sun Guard right there in defense mode. Everybody else can just hang back. Oh, and I forgot about Pounced. Yikes. That was not as desirable there. Alright, let's kill the lurid crab, perhaps. Perfect. Alright, now we just got to deal with these white tigers. So we can come over and do a bit of work there. Sun Guard can... Oh, a Sun Guard can guard break, so... The other option, though, is we just put the Sun Guard in defense mode. Guard break would come in handy, and we can probably get the kill, actually, with our Nightmare here. Let's see, we're doing a minimum of... What, 13 damage? So we wouldn't quite get the kill necessarily, but if we guard break, we definitely would. I do have to be careful. I really don't want to lose the Sun Guard. That's the most important unit, I think. Even probably more important than the Nightmare. Alright, let's do this. I might regret this, because I may lose the Sun Guard now to a flank attack, but... Should be able to... There we go. That's what we needed. And then... I think we'll maybe just leave the Big Beetle where it is. I think this unit only has enough to attack one time. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's fine. And then... We can... Swing around behind with the Big Beetle. Do some big flanking damage. Sun Guard is now bronze medal, which is excellent. Lost Soul's getting up there. Let's try and get the kill with the Lost Soul here. There's another level up. Fantastic, and some more lifesteal. Perfect. All right, great. Now let's regroup at our city for some healing. Our undead units could use it, and our living units are kind of beat up too. Back to Necras. So now if we want to produce something in Necras, we could do more Sun Guards or Mystics. We can also keep developing the city. Again, we could go Laboratory, Siege Workshop for production. Again, we have to watch our gold. So maybe Laboratory just to, you know, gain more knowledge is always good. To Shari. So now we've got at least enough units to kind of work with here, which is great. This Lost Soul, again, is moving up to make it easier for me. So let's decide who we want to bring with us. So I'm thinking probably the Lost Soul, maybe the Cheetahs. We leave the Cadaver and the Skeleton Archer, and we add the Lost Soul in just to defend the throne. And then we can, again, head over here to try to clear out some structures. That way, at least the throne city is still defended somewhat. Enough to at least deter, hopefully, some of the roaming scoundrel units. Do another Skeleton Archer just to have more ranged units defending. Nice. Okay, our Oathbreaker is almost back to full health. That's fantastic. And now we can just wander down here. The big question is going to be, how strong is Yizzo at this point? A little bit concerned that the answer is going to be reasonably strong. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, we're going to just hang out right there with both our armies. And we will advance. This is fine, though. It's giving us more opportunities to heal our undead units, which isn't so bad. All right, we can end our turn there. Let's see what Yizzo does. Okay, Yizzo's summoning, so obviously trying to reinforce his position there in his throne city. Sounded like Gamblag did the same as well. And I think Gamblag's dug in like a tick. I think he's going to be real tough to deal with there. I'm really curious to see what Yizzo has for defenses, though. Again, we got eyes on him a while ago, but it's been now, what, probably 7 or 8 turns, maybe, since we last kind of really saw what he had. Maybe a little less than that. I can't quite remember exactly, but... all right, so let's just kind of mosey on in. Okay, so I'm seeing he's got Goblin Arsonist, Dread Monkey, Grimbeak Crows, Trebuchet. Of course, this could be one of those situations where as you get closer, you're starting to see more units. Oh, yeah, and there it is. Oh, shoot, and Yizzo's back, and he's got a Necromancer, a Dreadnought, Trebuchet, Wargrider, Grimbeak Crows, Yizzo himself. And, of course, we're going to get hit with a ton of spells. That's almost a guarantee. You know, our army's pretty strong, though. I'm kind of thinking we could probably handle this. Might be one for... maybe for next episode, but I don't know. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself in a position. Yeah, you know what? I've already sort of committed here with this stack, so I'm going to grab the haste berries, and I'm going to move in. Oh, and look at that. He had even more units that were hidden. Yikes. All right, well, we can summon the Lost Soul to aid us here in this battle. Because we are... well, we're outnumbered by 2. Not to mention there's the wall and the filth pit. Thankfully, we'll take less damage from it, given that there's blight damage. The problem is it can apply weakened, which would be really nasty, as that would make us more susceptible to the attacks from that swarm darter. Not to mention some of the other units here that do blight damage. But let's, you know what, in order to kind of wrap up the episode, let's clean up the other stuff, and then we'll leave that one as a bit of a cliffhanger. The battle for Yizzo's throne. We'll leave that as a cliffhanger for next time. So, let's decide here if there's anything else we want to do. I know, I'm kind of teasing you guys with it. I'm sorry for that, but hopefully it helps build the suspense a little bit. Okay. So, actually, this Lost Soul could join up with the fighting that's going to happen over here, rather than doing that. So you know what? Let's do that. We'll move over this way. The Lost Soul can head over there. Kind of join in. And now we can start clearing out structures and getting some extra knowledge and gold and all kinds of things. All right. So this Lost Soul is just going to charge over. All right, so the first thing we got to deal with is this axe wielder, who's going to be a bit of a handful for us here, from what I can see. So let's step up, throw this. Actually, they are lined up, so we could do a Sunblast, but I'd have to get, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I would have to be standing right here for it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to blast for some damage like this. And then our Lost Soul is going to sit like that. And our cheetahs are going to move up as well and get ready to pounce when necessary. I'm a little concerned that this unit's just going to kind of move around and go and attack my heroes. So maybe I will park a cheetah there just to provide some protection for the hero. Oh, ouch. That blunderbuss wasn't very fun. Could have done without that. Yeah, we took a lot of damage from that. That wasn't great. This Lost Soul here can move over and attack the blunderbussman. Nice Lost Soul doing work. Or Lifesteal doing work, excuse me. Alright, let's do a pounce. Nice. And then, you know what we could do is head over like this. I can't remember if the rock will obscure my sun disk. I think if I'm standing next to it, it should be fine. So we can go like this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Big damage. Perfect. That was great. And then we can step over. Do that. There we go. Excellent. All right. All right, no worries there. We're in good shape. Now it's just dealing with the other blunderbussman. This does have a cooldown that's going to reset here right away, so we want to make sure we take care of that. So let's drop a heal. And then we can run on over and get the flank shot, tie him up. At least prevent that blunderbuss from coming into play. This Lost Soul has now died once, so we're going to make sure it runs away. That Lost Soul is going to come back. A little bit of bleeding, that's good. Ouch, there's that blunderbuss shot. Let's see, how's our hero doing? More experience with the hero would be great. Maybe we'll charge over and just get the kill with our hero. Perfect. All right, fantastic. Yeah, there's some extra experience, some extra population, and some extra knowledge. And there's some gold, too. Fantastic. All right. So I think we'll probably let this group heal a little bit before we go to the next structure, just because they are in kind of rough shape. And then, yeah, I think we'll leave the big battle for the Throne City, like I said, for next episode. So again, just to give everybody kind of the tail of the tape, as it were. So we've got Ramhotep Devilclaw, level 8 Necromancer. Again, we've got ourselves our Ghoul Tigran Royal Chariot, which is kind of our main workhorse, tier 3 unit, very powerful. Big Beetle, tier 2 animal. We've got Ghoul Tigran Muse, quite strong. Ghoul Tigran Shredder, also very powerful. And then we've got now some of our new units here with Jafsar, who's also a level 8 Necromancer. We've got this tier 3 Dwarven Oathbreaker unit, which I think has a lot of potential. We've got this Ghast, Archon Revenant Infantry, which is a little bit beat up. And then we've also got a Tigran Cheetah. And we have the capacity here to summon this Lost Soul, which I think is probably what I'm going to do, given that I don't think I really have... Yeah, I have Dark Gift, which I can't even use in battle because I don't have enough casting points. So I may as well summon the Lost Soul to help me. There's no other conceivable use for my casting points to, really do anything. So Let's throw that in as well. There we go. We got 1 extra unit, so I think we can handle this battle because we are up against a Goblin Hive Gunner. Now, this is a pretty nasty unit here. You can see that Shoot Hyper Mosquito is very deadly. This is a Tier 3 Goblin Archer. Trebuchet, Arsonist, Swarm Darter, Dread Monkey, Grimbeak Crows. And then we've got Yizdo himself. Igor the Cannibal is a Goblin Necromancer. We've got Elsa the Warhead, a Goblin Dreadnought, a Trebuchet, Wargrider, and a Grimbeak Crow. I think we can handle it, but, you know, again, this is going to be a tough one, so we'll leave it for next time. Just zoom out here and take a look. As I said, we're going to save this one right here. We're going to call this episode 5. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.